Right now, the USS Gerald R. Ford is sailing across the Pacific Ocean with 4,539 people living and working aboard. That's more people than many small American towns. More than 200 miles from the nearest land, they're surrounded by open ocean in every direction. These aren't vacationers. They're sailors, Marines, and aviators serving around the clock in one of the world's most demanding environments. Every day, the crew prepares nearly 18,000 meals, sleeps in compact berthing spaces, and operates some of the most advanced military technology ever deployed at sea. So how do nearly 5,000 people live, work, and survive for months in the middle of the ocean? The answer is far more remarkable than most people realize. The USS Gerald R. Ford isn't simply an aircraft carrier, it's a fully functioning floating city. At any given time, 4,539 sailors, Marines, and aircrew call this nuclear-powered warship home, as it patrols thousands of miles from the United States. And the Ford is only one of many. The U.S. Navy operates 11 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, each supporting a population of around 5,000 people. The Nimitz-class carriers, including the USS Abraham Lincoln, USS George Washington, and USS Ronald Reagan, have formed the backbone of American naval power for decades, carrying entire communities across the world's oceans. These floating cities represent some of the most impressive engineering ever built. Each carrier costs more than $13 billion and requires years of construction. The result is a self-contained warship capable of sustaining thousands of people for months while operating far from home in some of the world's most challenging waters. If you're proud of the incredible capabilities of the U.S. Navy, let us know by typing "proud" in the comments below. The numbers are almost unbelievable. The USS Gerald R. Ford stretches 1,092 feet in length, longer than the Empire State Building is tall, and displaces more than 100,000 tons when fully loaded. But perhaps the most remarkable fact is this: the ship can remain at sea for 90 consecutive days without returning to port or taking on supplies. Think about that for a moment. Nearly 5,000 sailors and Marines living together in the middle of the ocean for 3 months straight. So how do you feed that many people every single day? The answer is an extraordinary logistics operation. The ship's galleys operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, serving more than 18,000 meals every day. That's not an exaggeration. Over 18,000 individual meals, prepared around the clock while the carrier sails through rough seas and conducts flight operations. To put that into perspective, a busy fast food restaurant may serve only a few hundred customers in a day. Aboard the Ford, Navy cooks prepare thousands of fresh meals every few hours for an entire floating city. The amount of food stored on board is equally impressive. Deep inside the carrier are enormous refrigerated spaces filled with thousands of tons of frozen meat, fresh vegetables, dairy products, and dry goods, enough to sustain the crew for months. Some of these storage areas are as large as commercial warehouses. And here's something that surprises many people: the food is actually excellent. Navy culinary specialists receive professional training and regularly compete in military cooking competitions. Fresh bread is baked every day in industrial ovens that rarely stop running. The menu often includes pizza nights, Taco Tuesdays, steak dinners, lobster, seafood, and a wide variety of freshly prepared dishes. These aren't combat rations. They're restaurant-quality meals prepared by highly trained chefs who happen to wear Navy uniforms. Watching the galley during mealtime is like watching a perfectly coordinated operation. Long serving lines move hundreds of sailors through in just minutes, while steam tables are constantly refilled with fresh food. Every meal is served while the ship continues to sail, aircraft launch and recover overhead, and the entire carrier pitches through heavy seas or maneuvers at high speed. Keeping nearly 5,000 people well-fed is an incredible achievement. But that's only one part of life aboard the world's largest warship. Where do all those sailors actually sleep? And how do you fit the population of a small town inside a ship with less living space than most shopping malls? The answer lies in one of the most efficient engineering designs ever created. Sailors sleep in what the Navy calls racks, compact beds stacked 3 high in berthing compartments throughout the ship. Each sailor gets a space that is often compared to the size of a coffin, but it is their own personal area for months at a time. These are not just simple bunk beds. Each rack includes its own reading light, ventilation outlet, and a small storage space for personal belongings. Sailors decorate their spaces with family photos, personal items, and small comforts that help make life at sea feel a little more like home. Privacy is limited, but the crew learns to make it work. Senior enlisted sailors may share a room with only 1 or 2 others, while junior sailors often live in larger berthing areas with dozens of shipmates. Over time, everyone learns the unwritten rules that make close living possible. Officers receive slightly larger accommodations, usually private or semi-private staterooms, though even these would feel small compared to a typical college dorm room. Even the captain's quarters, while more spacious than the rest of the ship, are modest by civilian standards. Space is one of the most valuable commodities aboard a carrier when nearly 5,000 people live and work on a moving platform in the middle of the ocean. And that raises the next question. What exactly do these 5,000 men and women do every day to keep the world's most powerful warship operating around the clock? Before we continue, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Your support helps us keep bringing you more in-depth stories about America's incredible military technology and the people who operate it. Aircraft carriers never stop operating. They work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. There are no weekends, no holidays, and no downtime. Every hour of every day, someone is standing watch, maintaining equipment, launching aircraft, or preparing for the next mission. The flight deck alone requires hundreds of sailors working together with absolute precision. When you watch fighter jets launching from a carrier, you're witnessing one of the most dangerous work environments on Earth. Aircraft weighing tens of thousands of pounds accelerate down the deck at incredible speeds, while powerful jet engines generate enough force to pull a person in or blast them overboard. The flight deck crew is known as the Rainbow Shirts because of their brightly colored jerseys. Each color represents a specific responsibility. Yellow shirts direct aircraft movement. Blue shirts handle chocks, chains, and aircraft positioning. Red shirts manage weapons and explosive ordnance. Purple shirts, often called the Grape Crew, refuel the aircraft. Green shirts maintain the catapults and arresting gear that make flight operations possible. Many of these sailors are only in their late teens or early 20s, yet they're responsible for operating equipment worth millions of dollars. A single F/A-18 Super Hornet costs roughly $70 million. One mistake, or even a brief moment of distraction, can lead to catastrophic damage or the loss of lives. Despite the risks, these crews perform their jobs with extraordinary discipline and precision. During high-tempo flight operations, aircraft launch and recover every few minutes. Coordinating those movements requires unmatched teamwork between air traffic controllers, catapult crews, arresting gear operators, fuel teams, weapons specialists, and dozens of other highly trained personnel. Every operation is carefully synchronized to keep the carrier functioning safely and efficiently. Beneath the flight deck lies another engineering marvel. Deep inside the ship are the nuclear reactors that power the entire carrier. On Nimitz-class carriers, 2 A4W nuclear reactors generate enough electricity to power a city of nearly 100,000 people. The sailors who operate these reactors are among the Navy's most highly trained specialists. Before ever stepping into a reactor compartment, they complete nearly 2 years of intensive nuclear training. The standards are exceptionally high because there is virtually no room for error. These reactors can operate for more than 20 years without refueling. They don't just propel the ship, they generate the electricity that powers everything on board, including lighting, radar systems, communications, weapons, aircraft support equipment, life support systems, kitchens, and every other critical function throughout the carrier. Freshwater production is equally impressive. Instead of relying on outside supplies, aircraft carriers produce their own drinking water by converting seawater through nuclear-powered desalination systems. The USS Gerald R. Ford can generate more than 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day, enough for nearly 5,000 sailors and Marines to drink, cook, shower, wash clothing, and operate countless onboard systems. The water is continuously filtered, purified, and tested, making it cleaner than the drinking water found in many civilian communities. Managing waste aboard a floating city is another enormous challenge. Every type of waste must be processed on board. Food waste is ground and safely disposed of under strict environmental procedures. Human waste passes through advanced sewage treatment systems built directly into the ship. Solid garbage is sorted, compacted, shredded, or incinerated before disposal. Nothing is simply thrown overboard. Every process follows strict environmental and operational regulations. For months at a time, an aircraft carrier functions as a completely self-sufficient floating city, producing its own electricity, drinking water, food services, and waste management systems while operating thousands of miles from the nearest shore. That's what makes these ships among the most remarkable engineering achievements ever built. Providing medical care for nearly 5,000 people in the middle of the ocean requires far more than a simple sick bay. Every U.S. aircraft carrier operates a fully equipped medical department staffed by dozens of doctors, nurses, and Navy corpsmen. They handle everything from routine illnesses and minor injuries to complex emergency surgeries. The medical facilities include operating rooms, X-ray equipment, dental clinics, pharmacies, laboratories, and even intensive care units. They're designed to treat combat casualties, but they also provide everyday health care for thousands of sailors living together in a confined environment. If the carrier is close enough to land, critically injured patients can be evacuated by helicopter. But when the ship is deployed deep in the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean, the medical team must be prepared for anything. Over the years, carrier medical staff have successfully performed procedures ranging from emergency appendectomies to open-heart surgery, all while the ship remained underway. Staying connected with home is another essential part of life at sea. Modern aircraft carriers are equipped with advanced satellite communication systems that allow sailors to send emails, access the internet, and even make video calls to their families. This is a dramatic improvement compared to previous generations. During the 1970s and 1980s, many sailors were fortunate to make just one short phone call during an entire deployment. Today, crew members can stay connected with loved ones, stream entertainment, and even complete online college courses while serving overseas. That connection makes an enormous difference. Spending months at sea with nearly 5,000 other people can be mentally challenging, and regular communication with family helps improve morale, reduce stress, and maintain overall well-being. But life aboard an aircraft carrier becomes even more challenging when the weather turns against you. The open ocean can unleash some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Massive storms, hurricane-force winds, towering waves, and relentless rain are all part of life at sea. Yet aircraft carriers are built to endure conditions that would force most ships back to port. These giant warships can continue operating in seas with waves exceeding 30 feet. Their massive hulls and enormous displacement provide remarkable stability, even in weather that would terrify most civilian mariners. During extreme conditions, flight operations may temporarily pause, but the ship never stops. While storms rage outside, thousands of sailors continue working, eating, sleeping, and carrying out their duties as if they were safely moored alongside a pier. Safely navigating a 100,000-ton warship through those conditions is an extraordinary responsibility. The bridge team remains on watch around the clock, constantly monitoring weather, nearby vessels, navigation hazards, and potential threats as they guide thousands of people across the world's oceans. Keeping the carrier operational is another non-stop mission. Maintenance never ends. With nearly 5,000 people relying on every system on board, preventive maintenance is absolutely essential. Teams of specialists work continuously to service engines, electrical systems, radar equipment, weapons, life support systems, and hundreds of other critical components. Unlike a car, a carrier can't simply pull over if something fails. When you're hundreds of miles from the nearest coastline, every system must remain operational. Reliability isn't just important, it's essential for survival. Training also continues every single day, even during deployment. New sailors learn from experienced crew members, while emergency drills are conducted on a regular basis. Fire drills, damage control exercises, and general quarters drills prepare the entire crew to respond instantly to any emergency. These exercises aren't just routine. In a real crisis, the lives of nearly 5,000 sailors and Marines depend on every individual knowing exactly what to do. That's why training is constant, realistic, and never truly ends. Despite the demanding environment, life aboard these floating cities develops its own unique culture. Religious services are held regularly by chaplains representing multiple faiths. Libraries provide books, movies, and quiet places to relax. Fitness centers help sailors stay healthy and relieve stress after long workdays. Entertainment also plays an important role. Movie nights, talent shows, friendly sports competitions, and the famous Steel Beach picnic, where the flight deck is temporarily transformed into an outdoor barbecue during calm seas, give the crew a chance to unwind while surrounded by nothing but open ocean. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of life aboard an aircraft carrier is its people. The crew comes from every corner of America and every imaginable background. Small-town recruits serve alongside sailors from major cities. College graduates work shoulder to shoulder with men and women who joined the Navy straight out of high school. What unites them isn't where they came from. It's the shared experience of living and working together in one of the most demanding environments on Earth. The friendships and bonds formed during these deployments often last a lifetime. Life aboard an aircraft carrier isn't just about completing today's mission. It's also about preparing for tomorrow. Even while deployed thousands of miles from home, sailors continue taking promotion exams, completing professional training, and earning qualifications that advance their careers. The Navy's commitment to education and leadership never stops, no matter where the ship is operating. Leadership develops quickly at sea. Many sailors in their early 20s are trusted to supervise teams, manage multi-million-dollar equipment, and make decisions that carry enormous responsibility. The level of trust placed in these young men and women would surprise most civilian employers. Technology aboard these floating cities continues to evolve as well. The USS Gerald R. Ford introduced revolutionary systems such as electromagnetic aircraft launch catapults, replacing traditional steam catapults. Its advanced radar can track hundreds of air and surface contacts simultaneously, while integrated computer networks connect nearly every department throughout the ship. Yet despite all this technology, the carrier's greatest strength remains its people. Every successful deployment depends on the discipline, professionalism, and teamwork of nearly 5,000 sailors, Marines, and airmen working together toward a common mission. The impact of these floating cities extends far beyond the ship itself. Every deployment supports thousands of families back home, while supply ships, naval bases, shipyards, contractors, and countless civilian workers help sustain carrier operations around the world. Strategically, aircraft carriers remain one of America's most valuable military assets. They provide rapid air power, humanitarian assistance, disaster relief, and a visible American presence in regions where land-based forces may not be available. Environmental responsibility has also become an important part of modern carrier operations. Newer carriers are more efficient than previous generations, while onboard waste management and recycling systems continue to improve. The Navy works to protect the oceans that these massive warships call home. Looking ahead, future aircraft carriers will feature even more advanced technology, but their mission will remain unchanged: to project American power, protect national interests, and respond wherever they're needed around the globe. Above all, these ships are powered by people. Every sailor, Marine, and airman serving aboard these vessels lives an extraordinary life under extraordinary circumstances. Day after day, they prove that dedication, teamwork, and determination can overcome even the toughest challenges. Every aircraft launched, every meal prepared, every repair completed, and every watch stood reflects the professionalism and commitment of thousands of Americans working together. These are far more than warships. They are floating cities and powerful symbols of American engineering, teamwork, and naval strength. The next time you see an aircraft carrier crossing the ocean, remember the nearly 5,000 Americans who call it home. They live and work in conditions few people will ever experience, carrying out missions that help protect their country and support allies around the world. Their service, sacrifice, and dedication deserve our respect and appreciation. If you enjoyed this inside look at life aboard America's aircraft carriers, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more in-depth military documentaries. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.